Hello YouTube. Once again today we're going to talk about the 880, the VS-880 from Roland. And now let's get started with this thing. Now I saved time. I went ahead and fired the 880 up. And first thing we got to do before you can record, now I'm going to put this thing on close-up so I can show you. First thing we have to do before you can record. Right now there's a song loaded on this machine. We can't record over that. So what we got to do, we got to put in other words, we got to put in a new blank tape. That's basically how it is, a new blank tape. So the way to do that, right here on song, there's two ways of doing it. You hit the button and you go up and you see song select. Now you can actually go right over here and use the cursor wheel, these cursor buttons, and if you do, click one more over, or you could have hit song as many times, 1, 2, but if you use the cursor button, it's pretty easy, cursor button, and then you see song new. Now what you do there is you go right over here to yes and say yes. Now it gives you a choice of sample rates, 44K, which is 44.1, 48K, or 32K. That's your choices. 44K is what I use. It's CD quality standard. It's the 44.1. It's standard CD quality. So you say yes to that. And then it says create new song. Yes. Create new, sure. Yes. Now store current. Now there was a song before then. Now I'm going to go ahead and say I haven't been really working on to it, but just for sake, just if you've been working on something, you just say yes. So now it goes ahead and it says now working. What it's doing is it's going through and initializing the board, pretty much all this, and making a blank slate out of everything. So it's putting everything back like, see, now we're orange lights, and it's a brand new blank tape in here, so to speak, and it comes right back into the play window. Okay, now when I come back, we're going to show you exactly how what we did for our first track. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Now, I got this thing on a tripod. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see this, and I propped the 880 up. So I don't know how much you're going to be able to see of this here, but I'm going to just kind of tell you, just the main thing is watch your levels, and the main thing is play as hard as you can. Now you can't hear the guitar, but I'm playing as hard as I can. And let me see, I'm gonna go back to pre-fade. See, pre-fade is what's going to the disc. It's actually right here, and you just play as hard as you can play it. You don't want it to be somewhere around 4, maybe 4 to 6 dB. You just don't want it. So now we're going to bring it down a little bit more. Still clipping. Let's bring it down just a little more. That's pretty good right there. You can come up just a tad. You don't mind it clipping just a little bit. You want to see that light just kind of barely come on. Alright. And now I'm going to go into post fade. And we'll bring the fader up 0 dB. Now I like to take and bring all my faders up to 0 dB before we do anything. and then I can then bring them right down. And let's go back up with this one here. Now we're gonna what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you now again once, so you can hear the guitar. Now right now we're in amp simulator on the BR5. Now I'm gonna switch it to bypass. You hear it? Back to amp simulator, bypass, mix off. Bypass, amp simulator, mix off. Amp simulator, bypass. Bypass, amp simulator. So you see, this gives it some boost. Now what we're going to do right now, I've got it all set up, we've got our levels done, and what we're going to do right now, I'm going to arm this track right here. I don't know if you can see. Let me kind of turn the camera up right here, and we're going to kind of get a close-in shot right there. Right here, we're going to arm this track. Right here, this is the status button. And we're going to get this thing in record ready. Before I do that, what I'm actually going to do, we're going to record a G, C. We're going to record a short little song, and it's going to be. But first, I'll tell you, I'm getting ahead of my game here. Before I do that, I need a sound from a guitar. We need to get a sound. So what we're going to do now, if I can get this camera lined up, I'm going to show you exactly what we do with that first. Let me take this camera off so I can show you pretty much what I want to do here. And now I need an effect. I need some effect on this track. Right now my guitar is dry. So what I want now is go into the effects. Right here we have a effect board that has 2 stereo effects into it. So what I do is I hit effect, and I say yes. And right now there's reverb, and you can go into this thing, and there's all kinds of guitars, amp simulators, and from everything. Now, truly, what I like more than anything is just the regular old, reverb effect. So I usually choose maybe like a large hall, which that is just a reverb. Now what you got to do, how do I set that in there? Well, you go back to this input 1. You had to scroll over a lot further over here. You cursor over till you find channel 1 effect 1, and then you put it in. It was off, so you put it up in post fade, and then I can go back in here now and set it back to probably about. Let's see what 80 sounds like. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Right, first, what we got to do first, we got to go right over here, and where it says status on 1, we put that in record ready. We're in record ready. We go right here. Let me show you right quick. Right down here, we got a record button. Click that record, get it all ready to roll, and now we'll hit the play button, and then we can start. And I'll do a count off, and then we'll start recording the first track. 1, 2, 3. Go to C. D. C. Go to C. Now D. G. Here comes the chorus. C. G. C. D. back into the main part. C, D, now G. Here's the tag, back to D. G, C, G. Reach up, grab the master fader, and bring her down. Hit the stop button. Track 1 is done. And that is the first installment of this video on the 880. When we come back, on part 2, we are going to lay down the drum tracks. See you then.